All right, hey everybody, it is time to record another video, and tonight we are looking at all of this batch of dream enhancements, reincarnations, breaking the molds, transcendences. Hey, I remembered what it is tonight. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. I actually remembered what the heck it was called for once. All right, so yeah, Raph is here on screen, and as you can see, she's a little camera shy, so we're going to get her out of here, and we're going to be talking about the units. So starting off today, we're going to be going through all of them, and thankfully on this batch, I actually do have all the characters, so I can just show them all off. Starting off with Schutzelt. Yeah, this is a character that I don't think too much about, but here is what he is upgraded. So first off, Dream ability. Agility up by 20%, decrease AP consumption even by 25. A perfectly good upgrade. I mean, for any character, 20% agility is absolutely not nothing. And I've seen what this can do. AP consumption down by 25, sure, just makes the entire kit better. What's his kit again? Like Soldier, Knight, and Ranger? I mean, there's some potential there for a lower cost Thunder unit. Maybe you're looking to put Vigo with someone. All right, okay, let's see here. Last, but definitely not least, oh yes, really quickly, let me just throw it up on here so we can take a peek. There it is. And Hazardo. Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, Hazardo spin, or Hazardo, what is it? Anyway, consumes 10% HP, increases attack by 50%. I'm really tired at the end of this week. Paralyze, stop, and doom for self nullification with a 200% chance to ignore fatal damage when casting. Kind of interesting. Big attack boost for a lot less, and you don't get certain nasty status effects. Interesting. I mean, just the fact that it does have guts on it is kind of almost good enough to be considered. I mean, maybe you throw this character into a fire party if you're looking to lower the costs. I mean, taking a look, he's pretty cheap, so yeah, I actually think that this is not bad. I'm interested because this is a character that I don't really know too much about his general agility, but a 20% agility boost is definitely not nothing, so curious. I think there's something interesting here. Next up, as we switch over, I have too many screens up, but we'll make do. Helena! Now, original Helena, kind of, I think, if I remember correctly, I mean, she has, like, defense and spirit up by 25 for the first 3 turns. And she's decreased her skill activation because of her master ability, getting more HP, more AoE resistance, so kind of difficult to kill her. All right. That might be a little bit something. Let's take a look and see what's our next one. It's not her job level 25, so it must be this one. Increase wind resistance, earth resistance, defense, and spirit. I've never seen this unit almost anywhere. I mean, she does have Dispel, which is always kind of interesting because of its high range. And the idea that this might be a difficult to kill support unit, but I don't know. Earth and wind resistance for defense and spirit up by 15? Just, I don't know. I don't think that this one will be quite as interesting. Next up, McLeod. McLeod I actually do like because as a 50 cost unit, he does have some impressive range in his kit and some good defense, or some good offensive capabilities. Now he's getting attack plus 20 and pierce plus 15? No. This can't be as good as I think it is, can it? Job level 25, same range on it. Counter chance down by 100. 165 mod. Dispels haste and now increases pierce attack resistance by 40 for 3 turns. Oh my goodness, we actually probably have a really good overall unit, because high range on this guy in combination with just better DPS now, fitting him in with a DPS team such as Reagan or other great units, I mean, you can cut the cost quite nicely with this character. So yeah, McLeod, I think, is totally, absolutely worth a consideration, because he has some ranged attacks that synergize well, and Ace is just really good offensive, and he's even better offensive. So yeah, a little bit more glass cannon-y, but probably fine, I think. Next up, Marguerite, as we are climbing the tiers. And I guess we should just flop over to Marguerite's to pay back to her. There she is. I actually do have her 99. That's impressive for me. All right. Dream ability, magic up by 20%, accuracy by 15. Kind of curious. I mean, in combination, she's gotten agility and magic attack up, and her skill activation time is really decreased by this. So dream enhancement wise, I mean, she's kind of even more offensive. She was a time mage before. Job level 25, 220 mod, and it's a bigger AoE, and it has a chance to cause berserk, and it decreases spirit for 3 turns. You know what? I'm going to say it. Marguerite is definitely for a certain group. I mean, 60 cost is a little bit higher, but you can probably do a fairly good combination with either Kefka or maybe Roy on a limited time team. I actually think that Marguerite is probably interesting enough to give her a chance at least, and then maybe, I don't know what you throw in for that the other unit to hit the cost, but Marguerite definitely better. So just a quick resummary: interesting, not interesting, very interesting, and actually interesting. So continuing on, next is Lizette, who was a character that I totally forgot her name in the last video, and I've already forgot her name now. Okay, that's not entirely fair, but yeah, Lizette. There we go. All right, bringing up Lizette's strike attack plus 15, agility plus 10%. Both really good things here. Strike attack is just good, as you know, more strike resistance isn't available for most classes, and agility up just means that she's faster and better. Cool. And actually, I've used her a fair bit in my lightning teams, and I actually quite like her. So this might be one that maybe gets me to spend a little bit to try and get her upgraded. As for the ability, decrease critical evasion by 30 for 3 turns to targets. Attack up by 50%. Critical damage plus 20. 210 mod. And decrease agility by 20%. This is an interesting ability. I mean, it does have 2 hits. It can be used in guild, guild battles, guild raids, kind of thing. If you can get up close enough. I mean, the range on this is less than impressive. Let's get that out of the way. But a 50% attack boost, if you can get this to go, it's a lot of extra firepower for strike, and that just might be good enough to get a full recommendation. So yeah, actually quite a few of the MRs, I should say, are quite good, and I think are probably worth a strong consideration of upgrading, depending on if you're looking for something in that limited cost, or you're maybe trying to get through selection quests a little bit easier. There's some good stuff here across the board, and I might be wrong about Helena, but I feel like it's probably the most underwhelming of all of them so far. All right, and next we are going to switch gears, switch songs, and continue on. So next up is Elsie, and Elsie, character I have had for a very long time, since her original banner came out. Haven't thought too much about her recently because there's a lot of really good light characters. But let's take a look. Dream Enhancement, 20% HP / attack resistance penetration by 20. Neither of those are bad upgrades. HP just makes her more likely to survive. / attack resistance penetration gives her a better overall kit. So this is looking promising thus far. So what's her upgrade? Job level 25 is now a select 2 targets, decreased defense by 30, 165 mod, agility by 25% decrease for the opponent, and an increase of AP consumption by 50 for 3 turns. So this is actually really great. I love this. It wasn't a super high cost ability. It has really good range on it. The defense, offense, and penalty to the opponent is interesting enough, and effectively you're now able to do multi-target, but it's still a single target attack, so this feels really great. And in combination with her selection quest, yeah, this is just still feels like a good upgrade. Now, that being said, there are a lot of great light units, so who are you replacing out there for this unit? I don't entirely know, but not a totally unworthy upgrade for this character, as I think you can make a case that for certain people, especially people who love this character, probably worth dusting her off a little bit if you haven't been using her lately. All right, now let's talk about one of my favorite characters in the game, certainly one of my favorite designed characters. I absolutely love the way this character looks. She is so cool. A 90 cost character when the era of 100s was coming around, and I absolutely went for it. So let's take a look here. / attack by 15, / attack resistance penetration by 20. Okay, so painting a picture in here, she's very, very offensive. In combination with her master ability, that's 40 / attack resistance penetration just naturally, and that's pretty darn good. With defense penetration 15 and / attack by 15, she's pretty offensive. As for the upgrade, her job level 25 now increases accuracy for 3 turns for allies, AoE resistance by 15 for allies, magic resistance by 20% for 3 turns to allies, and a 200% magical evade for 60 for 3 turns. And here's the grand pièce de résistance. Ignore sure hit for 3 turns for self. You know what? This is interesting. First off, you got to admit, Locke got really, really messed over by the dev team. They really, really didn't want Locke to have this ability because he just didn't get it. But ignore sure hit for 3 turns is pretty decent. It doesn't come with Yuffie's ignore a single thing of damage, but yeah, I mean, between decreased chance of being targeted, her evasion rate buffs of 60 for 2 turns, in combination with this and the fact that it gives like accuracy, it's a hell of an ability that does a lot of stuff for farm. Is it enough to get her there as an evasion unit? Maybe. It's difficult to say. I mean, it is giving magical evasion in combination potentially with all the regular evasion you have, and then she can just get around sure hits while also dealing a good amount of damage. I actually am not joking when I say I think this unit is really worth a consideration for a water evasion kind of weird oddball choice that people don't maybe necessarily expect, because hey, that's what people have been telling me in the comments. Yuffie is a character that you can't always plan for. Well, okay, I'll apply that to my evaluation of farm. I think that she could be that character for water, but in an interesting way, I think that this is a really valuable thing to bring to the party. It keeps, not only is it just her extra strength here, it's also her opponents, and the extra source of accuracy is something that water is not like going to say no to. So yeah, I'm just gonna say it. I think that farm ninja upgrade here looks really, really good, and I might be pulling the trigger on it sooner than later, especially if I finally get some more UR horns, please. All right, now here it is, the final one. We've saved probably the most recommended character for accounts for the longest time in Wotv. She's finally here, and she finally has her upgrade. And you know what? Just for this one, because it's a little different and I'm tired of showing that screen, let's do this. So, decrease of skill activation time by 200 and an agility increase by 10%. Not bad, if you think about it. Like, if we were to just jump over to a dark elemental party, because I do have one of those with her already in it, you know, hoping that the game doesn't crash, at least for 2 more minutes. Like, an agility boost of 10% in dark elemental parties where she has like some really strong Esper, really speedy Esper, you can get up to some insanely high speeds already. So this is pushing her even further beyond. And dear goodness, taking a look, it looks like, yeah, that's a support skill getting upgraded, which is interesting. So this is the one that increases magic for self by 60%, decreases spirit by 8, that's staying the same so far, decreases skill activation time by 200, and now when her HP is over 80%, AoE resistance increases by 40, which is interesting. Now, first off, Dark Witch Helena is still one of the better units that anybody can get at the start of the game, because she's so versatile, she's so good in multiple things, that even in the age where, like, on JP, people use Sephiroth constantly for multi, Helena does show up still a considerable amount of the time. So this is an incredibly valuable unit. And her AoE resistance increase here, I mean, it can't be dispelled. It can't be gotten rid of. And anytime that there's a heal, it just makes her that much more durable again. I mean, it's on one of her things that's basically going to be permanently active. She still has 100% hit accuracy. She still is capable of wide sweeping AoEs. And obviously with Arithmetician, she has both healing and damage capabilities. This is like one of the best characters still kind of in the game. I mean, yes, she's fallen out in terms of the PvP meta because there are just better options in Dark, but this is still a good upgrade, or a very good upgrade. It's not going to push her damage anymore, but she is effectively just faster at everything nowadays. Decreased skill activation is mainly for her main job. I feel like, you know, with Arithmetician, which people normally run on her, you're not getting any value out of that. So yeah, Dark Witch Helena, I think, is a absolutely solid upgrade, because of course it is. She's still just one of the most account founding characters in the game. Her 140 will really depend, I think, still. Like, here's the thing. Is she worth a 140 though? I think the answer is really riding the line, because if you have those materials, I mean, Raph right now would make a bigger overall difference to a Dark team. You know, Dark Witch Helena or Little Leela, Brave Little Leela, when she gets her 140, because I don't think she has her 140 yet, but not recalling it. And of course, Sephiroth. So this might just be a burden of, there's already really great characters. Like, it's the Rizal problem of, it's a great to nice upgrade. I say that because, you know, now that I think about it, the skill activation doesn't work on some of her kit, but like overall, she's still a really impressive unit. She's still constantly used, and that'll be enough for most people. For people who have really indulged, like myself, into Raph and Majin Vina and Sephiroth and looking for those kind of things, I think that this will be a probably more difficult choice. You might want to, you know, spend your resources on other elements to try and have some different elemental teams instead of just pure dark 140. But hey, overall, this is a pretty good, seriously, really good batch of updates. Shulza even, I think, gets my stamp of okay. The best ones, or the worst one is definitely regular Helena to me, because out of all the upgrades, it feels the least interesting, at least just looking at it on paper, with a character that I don't see that often used, period. Like Dario or other limited wind cost characters are considered usually way before this. McLeod, Eliza, no, sorry, not Eliza. We didn't talk about Eliza. That was master ability too. I'm looking at the wrong list. Like Sadali undoubtedly is just one of the best characters in his element, so any upgrade for him with his master ability 2 will also be improved by his dream enhancement later. Elsie and Farm and Black Witch Helen are all solid UR upgrades, but I think Farm is the one I'm going to give the biggest recommendation to, because she works with Astria, she works with Celeste. Now she's still bringing something to the party, but she's much more bulletproof than what she used to be. As for MRs, if I have to pick, I'm probably going to go with Marguerite, Lizette, or McLeod as my favorites for this batch, just because they seem very clear-cut, really good, and have potentially interesting combinations in their elements, and probably worth a strong consideration. So anyway, I don't know. I'm repeating myself. That's it for the summary. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. See you next time.